Hello, welcome to Tinks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional women. As the recording time of 12:32 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum contracting $3,214, about 4.28% so far. As you can see clearly on the entire market, we're bright green today. Not for the reason that I'm wearing anything green today. It's just that Jerome is not saying anything, outrageous today, and it seems like it's all in alignment with Wall Street expectations so far. So when there's a lack of, I guess needle driver verbiage or keywords that trigger some sort of a volatility, it will translate into a positive affectation, right? Which is logical, right? We have already endured relatively of a thick skin for the last 2.5 months so far. Or if you take it in more of a macro perspective for the last 2.5 years so far, so we are becoming more and more immune to the volatility, right? So with respect to the Jerome speech, what I've been hearing so far is still the rating at the moment is still live going on, so feel free to take a watch. But the high level the verbiage that I've been listening in so far, it seems like just relatively more of a diplomatic type of cadence, right? It's not really like he's confirmatory on anything yet, right? He's basically reminding us on his commitment and obviously the mandate that he has with respect to the job numbers, the quantitative tapering going forward. And that would translate into the three specific interest sites that he has laid out for this year, right? But he didn't really specify on the timing yet, right? So again, it's still working in progress. But with that being said, it's in alignment with what we've been expecting so far. So Wall Street give that of a benefit of the doubt set is a positive one. If you say it's like on a net perspective, right? So seems like today is one of those days that we have jumped through the hoop on a hurdle perspective, and this is also another reasons for translation on the technical front. Right, we have really sold down in the previous days, and for some reason, and I'm just maybe using my spidey sense in a very sensitive perspective. Yesterday we got two media affectation coming from Goldman Sachs. Obviously from the equity economist and also from Jamie Dimon the day before on a CNBC interview. So seems like they are depicting that we are well frankly in the Great Depression type of state at the moment, but across the spectrum with a lot of assets on a specifically in the tech sector. They are, depicting and explaining that, in a technical perspective, we're relatively oversold, that is not priced at the logical manner. So they also predict that, this should be technically one of the biggest bull market going forward as we slowly recover. So this is probably just like a early inning, like we're walking towards, like a dark tunnel, which we have been for the last 2.5 years, slowly walking into the lights right now. So, and with Jerome not saying anything outrageous again, give us that confirmatory signal on translating into confidence from investors to be buying in, right? So besides this Jerome news, let's look into some other news that's also collectively in the spectrum. So with respect to the one that is quite interesting is with respect to United Airline. Seems like they're cutting flights all over again. And seems like there are about 3,000 workers called out sick today and yesterday collectively because of COVID. Not sure if this is a real case, but we know that there's a huge shortage in the airline industry right now. People are quitting left and right because there's just the labor is very intensive, and also with respect to traveling, it's no longer the how would you say a luxurious type of experience anymore. It seems like it's just a lot of hurdles that you have to jump through. It's a lot of things that you just have to maneuver through for you to get somewhere, and it's not doesn't seem or feel like it's worth it anymore. So with this shortage, in addition to, the airline industry, the medical industry as well, right? There are people quitting left and right despite how much hospitals are paying. And also with respect to a lot of burnouts across the country, there are people just quitting their jobs left and right, which translates into a negative job numbers that we've seen in the recent time frame, which subsequently drive the sell-off, right? So Seems like we have got through the hump today, but there are more humps coming. So the CPI report is coming out tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on the Eastern time, and then subsequently the PPI report, and then the earnings season begins on this Friday coming up. So we'll see how that goes. Ultimately, in the near term, we also have to incorporate that weekend affectation, right? Are people going to be selling off? As we, you know, I don't know what's going to come out on the CPI report. I foresee it might be a positive one. We might see some negativity ahead of time because of today's rally. And then it could subsequently revive. So we could be technically trending on a flat or sideways fashion for this remainder of the week. But then, as the weekend come in, we might potentially get the typical weekend affectation, which subsequently sell us back down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were like back to square one at 3,150 all over again by the end of this week, which is kind of typical in terms of how the market looks like based on the current momentum right now. So enough of the prediction. Again, I'm not a clairvoyant or a wizard. I do not know how it's going to triangulate going forward. But we know the factors to look out for, and we can risk mitigate accordingly by looking into the frame of the charts in front of us to maneuver through these murky water, right? So, respective recording time of 12:38 p.m. on the Eastern time, Ethereum can trade $3,224, up about close to 5% so far. We are congratulating ourselves that we have broke above the 3,150. So the next level we need to get up to is the 3,325. And as we consolidate, we will build a new ground architecturally. And right now we are slowly showing some, a good signs of reversal. We're clearly reviving right now on the MACD. We're clearly reviving on the RSI front with the 35 out of 70. So still relatively oversold, but obviously not as attractive when we were at the bottom at the 2,999 or 2,950 at that level, right? Bitcoin's also surging as well, which is also driving the whole market to go up. The next level we need to go up to would be the 44,000 exactly, right? 43,932, basically technically 44, right? We're still oversold at the 33 out of 70. We're about to form a cross section upward, so it seems like a golden cross about to be formed right now. Well, still some room in separation, but as we break above the 44, we have a relatively good shot of actually leaping up to the next level of the 48, which is the next level of consolidation. So we'll see how that goes. But it seems like across the market is relatively bullish right now. It seems like a reversal is definitely happening right now. Dogecoin is up right now. You could see it's just a lack of interest. We got to the 1680 today, but immediately came back down. This is so interesting. It seems like people just took quick profit and left because of this is the next resistance level, right? You see that there's a lot of resistance levels that's up ahead of us with the 36 out of 70 right now. So ideally, I wouldn't really touch it right now. But if you believe in this long term, probably, yeah. But anywhere from basically 1426 to below at the 1370 would still be a good level. Cardano's down up about 5.11%. Right now, it's basically in between 119 to 102. 112 is in the middle of basically 110, right? So that's like a flat level, and right now the 40 out of 70 about to curve up. So it seems like Cardano is reviving as well, but obviously not as right now. It's not like the best level to buy. Obviously much better when we're at the 105, 110ish, right? Solana is currently heading back up to 155, so we bounced from the 133 at the 35 of 70, so still at a good shot. We're still relatively oversold, so not terrible at the moment. XRP is at the 75 cents, exactly at the comfort level, so we're trying to get back up to the 78 cents. And right now the 37 out of 70, so not terrible. We're still curving up, so we're about to form a golden cross as well. Polkadot is up about 11%. We bounced from basically the bottom, anywhere from 23.50 to the 22.30, with the 44 out of 70. So not the best, not the worst, but it's okay. I probably would not be chasing at the moment. ALGORAND's up about 6.79%. Right now it's the 45 out of 70. Very, very large separation. So there's a lot of outliers, a lot of volatility. So again, anywhere from 136 to below to 125 is still better level for us. Shiba Inu is up about 4.6%. 2790 right now. Anywhere from we'll say starting current with somewhere around like the low 2000s to the 1400 to the 900 would be the way I would sprinkle across the 3 DCA levels. 36 out of 70, so not terrible in terms of incurring risk now if you really want to. MACD's up about close to 13% right now, surging up. And right now the 51 out of 70, I would not touch this. I would probably stay away because of the outliers that we see in the chart. Very manipulative. 175 to 143 is still a better shot for us. And AVAX up about 6% right now. Again, 80 to 60 is still better level for us. Luna up about 6% right now. At the moment, still I would wait, come back, or if you bought in at 62, that was the level. 62, 52, 45 from here. And respect to elrond, we're up about 6% right now. Again, if you bought in at anywhere from 190 to 180, that was the better level. Right now, with basically around 37, so still not terrible in terms of risk mitigation, but not the best, right, in terms of like comparing to the previous days. And respect to overall risk manager levels, you could see that we are still within the attractive and steal levels, and it seems like the reversal is happening nicely. So it's something we appreciate, out of those days that we've been seeing in terms of volatility. Today's definitely one of the greener side of the volatility of the spectrum. So not terrible, but not the best in terms of incurring risk. But obviously, when everybody was panicking days ago, that was the best, like the perfect time for you to come in, right? So appreciate you on this Tuesday, and let me know how it goes, and take care.